What's up, everybody? Jay Miller here, and this is the video episode of what I'm. Glad to be trying to do video again. It's going to be a work in progress, but baby steps, right? I'm still fighting the idea of going to Notion. Not Notion. To OmniFocus. Notion we'll be talking about later. My notebooks are just not getting the use that they had been getting. I'm writing things in them, but not really doing a lot of future work. And I don't know if it's the notebook that's causing that or just my balancing. Health update. I am still not able to get my ADHD medication. This is due to a mix-up with my psychiatrist and the doctor. They prescribed the wrong medication. And for those that don't know, medicine is expensive. Really expensive. Like $400 a month expensive. Damn! And I just can't afford that. So we're trying to come up with other options. And until then, I don't know what to do. So I'm just kind of working with that. I've been drinking coffee again. Shout out to the Petunias by Revelator out of Birmingham. I've got another bag to go through there, and it's been really good. Really, really good lately. I want to get into the habit of doing some coffee review stuff, but I don't quite know how I'm going to go about doing that just yet. So, it was really good. And I really enjoyed making it, and the process for it has been interesting. And if you have coffee that you want me to try out, please let me know. Or if you have coffee that you want to send my way, and then I'll review it. I'm not a barista, as you can tell by my beautiful backdrop. I am just someone who really enjoys drinking coffee and wants to learn more about it. Speaking of learning, Notion sent out a tweet earlier today saying, looking for passionate Notioners. We're bringing together our first group of Notion pros to help do even more for our community. I like the idea, but I don't know. I do use Notion. I use Notion for my business, J&J Media, which is a subsidiary of Productivity and Tech. I use Notion to manage my clients. I use Notion to manage my leads, and also to manage the guests and the guest list and my show notes for the Pit Podcast. So I do think that I have a unique use case for Notion and how I'm using it, but I don't know what they're trying to get with this pitch. Like, I don't know how much commitment they're looking for when it comes to doing this. And one of the things that really frustrates me is that at one point I offered my services, my community management services, for those that don't know, I've worked in online communities for several years, and they kindly said thanks, but no thanks. They were looking for someone in the Bay Area, which I can't afford, not to mention that I have my family and everything set up here, so why would I want to uproot all of that? Not to mention that I'm also a business owner, and I have my own stuff that I'm doing, and being full-time involved in another venture is hard. And I think it's time for what I'm ranting about. Companies. I totally get the idea of having super fans. I have super fans. I love my super fans. Stop getting your super fans to do stuff for free. It's not right. It's not cool. I don't know for a fact that this is what Notion's doing, but At no point, and I'm going to double check now as I'm reading the comments, at no point does Notion open up and say that they are offering free pro subscriptions for these people, that they are compensating them in any way. All it says is they will provide access to a closed group with other Notion pros where you can meet and chat, training and tools for running local events, swag to share with other Notioners, plus something special for you. I don't know what that means. And direct connection with the Notion team and what insights into what's next. I like the idea, but at the same time, I feel like what they wanted to do here is they want to be able to have a foot in the community without having a foot in the community. And that bothers me. I just don't like the idea of trying to... I don't like the idea of trying to outsource your community engagement. And this is something that, in the wake of the Blizzard Activision layoffs, I think is absolutely disgusting and terrible. One, for those that don't know, Blizzard, huge video game company, Activision as well, they're merged together into this, video game mega company, and they posted a record sales in the last year over year. So they're not doing bad. In the wake of Fortnite's kind of eating everybody's lunch right now, but Blizzard Activision was doing fine, but they want to do better. And because of that, they decided that they are going to lay off 10% of their team, and most of those layoffs were in the community engagement area. And no one really knows what this means. Everyone is speculating, and this is old news. This happened a few weeks ago. People are kind of over it at this point. But the problem that I have with that is now what they are trying to do is they're trying to reduce the amount of company-sponsored, company-paid community engagement and outsourcing that to the community itself. And that's what I feel like Notion is trying to do here. Am I going to stop using Notion because of this? No. Am I being critical of Notion? Absolutely. Why am I being critical of Notion? I don't know. Part of me wants to do this. I have the form open. The other part of me is you do not need to do this because, one, my productivity principles preach of app agnostic productivity. And by aligning myself with a specific productivity community, I am obligated to kind of steer people in their direction. That is one of the things that they want you to do as a community manager. And I don't think I can do that. So I'm going to keep using Notion. I really wish they would come up with their API because that's the one thing that I really need more than anything in the Notion app. But I don't like this direction. I don't like this move. And honestly, if there was a product that would do the same thing but better, as long as the migration wasn't hard, I might switch. I don't know. Again, this is a minor thing. This is something that a lot of communities are trying to do, especially a company that is, I think they are bootstrapped, so I don't think they have investors. They're just trying to keep their costs down. I totally understand that. But as someone who has experience running communities, I see these ambassador programs. I know Evernote has a huge one. But I think that if you are looking for people to promote your brand, you need to be compensating them. And if you can't at least give them $1 or $2, you're doing something wrong. If you can't give them free service, free access to whatever they're using, if you can't give them the ability to directly impact. Like, if they wanted to give me access to the actual Notion code base so that I could like host my own Notion service if I wanted, or I could fork the Notion code and but that's it. That's my rant. Rant's over. It's going to be the first video episode. It'll still be on the podcast. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, be sure to do that. You can subscribe on nothing, actually. I forgot. J&J. That's going to be tough. That means I got to figure out music. I got to figure out sound clips and everything else, because this is going to be difficult. We might get a takedown notice. I don't know. We're going to try this. We're going to put it up on YouTube. If it stays, we'll keep doing this. If it doesn't, then we'll figure it out, I guess. I don't know. If you liked it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. There's going to be more. Of course, you can always go to kjmiller.com. Remember, the K is silent. And just have a good evening, good day, good whenever. I'll see you next time.